Good morning, students. Myself, Kalpana Veena Jadhav from Sarkar Nagar School. Today, we will start our next session for the metallurgy lesson. So let us start. Which are the today's objectives? So learning objectives of today's topics are discuss the basic principles of metallurgy. Then second one is discuss about the concentration of ores. Then third one is discuss terms ionic compounds and to understand the concepts of extraction of metal. So these are the objectives of today's topic. Now before that, students, please keep your textbook, notebook and pen with you. Take out the screenshot of important points. Note down all the important points in your notebook, okay? And also underline the important points in your textbook. Okay, let us start. Before that, in last lecture, we have learned about some points. So, which are this? These are the ionic compounds. What is meant by ionic compounds? What is meant by the ionic bond? So, ionic bonds are the very strong bond, right? So, are also solid at room temperature, but if it is found in liquid form, it conducts the electricity. So, it does not conduct the electricity in solid, but it conducts the electricity in liquid state, and also means what? That is aqueous state. Now it have the high melting point and boiling point. These ionic bonds, it bond which is formed between the metals and the non-metals. So we know that the metals which release its electron, which donates its electron, and non-metals are which accept the electron, and the bonding which is formed between the non-metals and metals, these are nothing but the ionic bond. Okay, and where this it forms the compound, that compound is nothing but the ionic compound. So these aqueous means was dissolved in water. All the compounds which get dissolved in water, that is nothing but the aqueous. Okay. Now what is the definition of metallurgy? Metallurgy is nothing but what? The science and technology regarding extraction of metals from ores and their purifications for the use is called as metallurgy. Metallurgy means what? Extraction and purification of metal. So understood this concept, that is the keep in mind metallurgy is nothing but the extraction and the purification of metals. Now next is what is the definition of the minerals, ores and ganj. Now in exam it may be asked for the define the minerals, define the ores and define the ganj. Okay, so what is meant by the mineral? The compound of metal that occurs in nature along with impurities, these are called as minerals. Ores means what? The minerals from which metal can be separated economically. So this is the industrial method that ores can be separated from the minerals. Next point is what? Ganj, that is the sand, solid particles, that is soil and rocky substances are there which are separated from the ores. So these are nothing but the ganj. What is the now next point is what? The metallurgy having the basic principles. So basic principles of metallurgy, it concludes the 3 points. First is a concentration of ores, then second one is extraction of metal, and third is nothing but the purification of metal. So in last lecture we have learned about the concentration of ore. Which concentration of, what is meant by the concentration of ore? Concentration of ore means what? The process of separating ganj from the ores is called as concentration of ore. Okay, now this concentration of ore having some subtypes, some stages are there. So first stage is what? Separation based on gravitation. The first stage having the two stages, stages are there. First is a Wilfley table method, and second one is hydraulic separation method. Now remember student, these are based on the law of gravitation. So law based on the principle, that is the laws of gravitation. So separation based on gravitation having sub stages. First is Wilfley table method and second one is hydraulic separation method. Now we will learn about the Wilfley table method. In Wilfley table method, there is a fixing narrow table is there. That is the fixing narrow and thin wooden rifles which are kept in inclined position, in slanting position, and the stream of water also released from the top of the table, where that the powder ore which is poured on the table, what will happen that it will be carried out, means what, gunge particles will carried out with flowing water. Okay, at the bottom side the gunge particles are get collected. After that, what will happen in the slit, in vibrating tables, that is the slits are there, the ore particles which are fixed in the slits between them. So what will happen, it gets separated. So this is the Wilfley method. Now today let us start with the hydraulic separation, that is also based on the separation, and that is based on the laws of gravitation. So let us start with the second stage of separation based on the gravitation. So first is what, that we have seen, that separation based on the gravitation. It is having two stages, Wilfley table method and the hydraulic separation method. So concentration of ores having total 4 stages. First is separation based on gravitation, then magnetic separation method, froth flotation method, and leaching. So these are the stages. And in first stage of separation based on gravitation, having concluded 2 substages, Wilfley table method and hydraulic separation method. So let us start the hydraulic separation method. Now, what is meant by the hydraulic separation method? Hydra means water. So water is there. It is totally based on the laws of gravitation and with included water. So what is, look at the diagram. Hydraulic classifier is there. Hydraulic separation method includes the diagram. Now remember, student, in board exam it will be asked, it may be asked for the 4 marks and also ask for the 2 marks. Draw and label the diagram. Okay, so this is the important hydraulic separation method. Now what is the hydraulic separation method? The hydraulic separation method is also totally based on the gravitation method, gravitation, laws of gravitation, and it is also based on the working of mill. Now diagram is look like a mill. Now what is this? This is the vessel, tapering vessel is there. It is similar use in a grinding mill. Okay. Now this tank, this container having the outlet on upper side, that is the water outlet. Okay, so tank has the outlet for the water on the upper side and the water inlet on the lower side. So water inlet at the lower side, remember, water inlet on the lower side and water outlet on the upper side of the vessel. Okay, now the ground ore, that is the powder form of ore, is released in the tank and a forceful jet of water is introduced in the tank from the lower side. As the water inlet is on the lower side, so water which is introduced in the tank, it is from the lower side. Now gunge particles are lighter. Okay, so what will happen? The gunge particles which are lighter, they get float on the water surface. Okay, so all the gunge particles are float on the water surface and then it will be removed from the outlet. Okay, so outlet is on the upper side. All the gunge particles get collected separately and the heavy particles of the ores are collected at the bottom from the lower side. Okay, now what this, as we know, this method is based on the law of gravitation. So all the particle gets settled down. Which particles? Ore particles. All the ore particles get settled down at the bottom of the vessel. So this is the hydraulic separation method. Okay, so now next is what, that the concentration of ore stages consist of different stages. First is separation method, which is based on the gravitation. Now let us start with the second stage of concentration of ore, where to concentrate the ore. remove the Ganj particles from the ore. So concentration of ore includes second stage, that is the magnetic separation method. So what is meant by the magnetic separation method? Now here the question also asks for the 2 marks, draw and label the diagram. Okay. Now students, what is meant by the magnetic separation method? This method includes the electromagnetic machine. It requires the electromagnetic machine. Now observe the diagram students. There are two types of rollers. First is iron. These rollers are the iron rollers, while one is non-magnetic and another one is magnetic. That's why this method is requires electromagnetic machine, and name itself indicates the magnetic separation method. Name itself indicates there is a magnet, right? So two types of iron rollers, one is non-magnetic and another one is magnetic. Okay. Now one is conveyor belt is there, which is continuously moving around these iron rollers. One of the rollers is non-magnetic and another one is magnetic. Okay. Now the conveyor belt moving around the roller, that is non-magnetic roller made up of leather or brass, means this conveyor belt is made up of leather or brass. Now again we pour the ores on the conveyor belt near the non-magnetic rollers. Okay. So what will happen? There are two collectors there. Observe the diagram. There are two collectors. The collector vessels are placed below the magnetic rollers. Now the particles which are non-magnetic, okay, the particles which are non-magnetic are not attracted towards the magnetic rollers, right? So particles which are non-magnetic collected in one vessel. So these belts carried the two types of particles. One is non-magnetic, another one is magnetic. Okay. So what will happen? The particles which are magnetic, means magnetic ingredients are there, which are collected near the magnetic roller. So these particles, which are this powder ore consist of two types of ingredients. First is non-magnetic and another one is magnetic. Okay. Now, so they carried, that is along belt carried both the particles, and the collector vessels are there. Now non-magnetic ingredients is collected, which is falls away from the magnetic roller. So two types of ingredients get separated because of the magnetic rollers and non-magnetic rollers. Okay. So these kind of ingredients which are separated, which are dependent on the magnetic nature. For examples are there. First example, that is the cassiterite. Cassiterite is a tin ore where the magnetic ingredients are ferrous tungsten and the non-magnetic are stannic oxide. So this is the example of magnetic separation method. So take a screenshot. Okay. Now here also question may be asked to explain the magnetic separation method with neat and labeled diagram. Okay. So this is also important point of this lesson. Now next is students, next separation method, that is the froth flotation method. Now this is the third stage, that is the stage of concentration of ore. So how to remove the Ganj particles from the ore to concentrate the ore? This is the third stage of, that is the froth flotation. In separation based on concentration, we are having the two stages. First is Willfley table method and second one is hydraulic separation method. Okay, hydraulic separation method. In hydraulic separation method, we are seeing that is we use the water in hydraulic separation method. Now in magnetic separation method, we use the magnet. Now, next is froth flotation method. Now, froth flotation method is totally based on the properties of that ore, which particles are present in the ore. Now, these particles which is base present in the ore, that is hydrophilic particles and the hydrophobic particles. Now, hydrophilic, meaning of hydrophilic means water loving. Okay, water loving, that is hydrophilic, and hydrophobic means what hydrophobic means water hating. So some particles are water loving and some particles are water hating. Okay, so method is totally based on the two properties, hydrophilic and the hydrophobic of particles. Okay, now what is means that? What is meant by that? These particles are the maybe sulfides, maybe carbides. So it depends on the ores. So which particles are present in that ore? So this property, which property? This method is based on the hydrophilic and the hydrophobic of particles. Now let us start with the froth flotation. What is the method? What is the process of froth flotation method? Now the particles of metal sulfides. Now metal sulfides, the metal is combined with the sulfur. It reacts with the sulfur. As we know, metals are highly reactive. They are always present in combined state. So metal sulfides are there, sulfide ore is there. So metal sulfides, due to their hydrophobic property, get weighted mainly with water. So metal sulfides are hydrophobic particles. Hydrophobic means water hated. So they get weighted with oil. Okay. Now some particles, that is the Gunch particles, are weighted with water. Why these are weighted with water? Because Gunch particles are hydrophilic. They are having the hydrophilic property. So water loving. So water lovings are there. So Gunch particles get weighted with water because of hydrophilic property. So remember, ores having the Gunch particles also. So it ores gets separated from the Gunch particles. It is totally based on the two properties, hydrophilic and hydrophobic. Hydrophilic water living, hydrophobic water hating. So water living, water loving are Gunch particles, so they get weighted with water. But hydrophobic particles, that is metal sulfides, are hydrophobic particles, hydrophobic are property. So they get weighted with the oil. Okay. So now separation, how, what is the process of? Now next is what? By using this property, the ore are concentrated. Okay. So ores are concentrated because of this property. Now for the ores, now look at the diagram now. Now in this method, the ores is put up into the big tank. This is the big vessel. We pour the ores in the tank containing water. Now water is there. Now it contains the water. Pour the ores in the water. Now this water also contains the oil. Now why? Because ores, that is the metal sulfides, get weighted with oil. So we also add some vegetable oil such as pine oil or eucalyptus oil. Now this is This line is very, very important. Vegetable oil like pine oil or the eucalyptus oil is added in the water for the formation of froth. Froth or foam means this is the bubbles, right? So bubbles are forming when you are agitating. Agitating it, so means what? Shaken. So we have to agitate by using the agitator. So first is what? If you pour the ore in the tank consists of water plus oil. Which oil? That is the pine oil or eucalyptus oil. Okay. Why we are adding the oil? Because we have to separate the ore, that is the metal sulfide, and it also forms the foam, that is the froth, for the formation of the froth. Okay, because of the air pressure, it forms the froth. So what then? Agitator rotating around its axis in the center of the flotation tank. Now in the center there is an agitator. Okay, it gets rotating around its axis in the center of the tank, and this agitator is used for the purpose what? For the purpose of bubble formation. It forms the bubble, that is nothing but the froth. It forms the bubble. Okay, now because of the air pressure, and due to this, what will happen? This foam is formed from the oil and water and the air bubble together, and then what will happen? Due to the agitating, on the surface of the foam, the metal sulfides which are lighter, because of this, what will happen? These particles of the sulfide ores float with the foam on the water, and this ore get removed from the gunge particles. So here there is an example. First is zinc sulfide and the copper pyrite. So these are the ores which can be concentrated because of the froth flotation method. So froth flotation method, remember froth flotation method, foam formation, bubble formation is there. So first point is important, that is the hydrophilic. This method is based on the hydrophilic and hydrophobic of particles. All the properties having hydrophilic and the hydrophobic. Second one is what? Because of this property, hydrophobic property, due to the hydrophobic property, these metal sulfides get weighted with the oil. Third one is what? Because of the hydrophilic property, the gunge particles get weighted with the water. After that, what will happen? Because of the agitating that rod, what will happen? It forms the foam or froth. It forms the bubbles because of the air pressure, and we use the pine oil or eucalyptus oil. Okay. Now, due to the agitation, the sulfide ores get float on with the foam on the water. And examples of this to remove the gunge particles from the ores or to separate out the ores and gunge particles, example is zinc sulfide. We use froth flotation method for the separation of the zinc sulfide and the copper pyrite. Okay, so this method is also important. Now next is what? Last, that is the leaching method. So concentration of ore, that stage consists of a separation based on the gravitation. Then next point is what? That is the magnetic separation, then froth flotation and leaching method. Remember, now separation of method, that is having the Wilfley and hydraulic separation. Now last, fourth one is leaching. What is meant by leaching? Now leaching is means what? The extraction of metals by soaking the some certain amount of solution. The ores which is soaked in certain amount of solution for a long time. So this method may be used for the aluminum, for the separation of aluminum, for the separation of gold and silver ores. Okay, so leaching method is method where the ores is soaked in certain amount of solution for a long time. These ores get dissolved in that solution. So there is a chemical reaction between the ore and the solution. Now, which type of solution? That is it may be acid. For the gold, acid is there, HCl, HNO3, and for the aluminum, that is the NaOH, sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide solution is used to remove the aluminum. Okay, now for example, that is the example concentration of bauxite. So bauxite is an ore which is soaked in an aqueous solution of sodium hydroxide or the sodium carbonate. So it get dissolved, that bauxite, it get dissolved in the solution of sodium hydroxide where we get the pure aluminum. Okay, so leaching method is very important for the 2 marks. So certain amount of ore, that ore is dissolved in a solution, that is nothing but the leaching method, and gunge is removed from it. So these are the basic principles. These are the first stage of basic principles of metallurgy. So basic principle of metallurgy consists of 3 stages. First is concentration of ore, then extraction of metals, and third one is purification of metal. We have taken first stage, that is the concentration of ore. Concentration of ore also having 4 sub stages. First is separation based on the gravitation. Second one is magnetic separation. Third one is froth flotation. And fourth one is leaching. Okay. Now, second stage of basic principles of metallurgy, that is the extraction of metals. Now, extraction of metal, it consists of the process that is the leaching. Now, let us start with the second stage of basic principles of metallurgy. So, basic principle of metallurgy consists of second stage, that is the extraction of metals. Now, this extraction of metals also having the 3 sub stages. First is extraction of reactive metal, then extraction of moderately reactive metals, and third one is extraction of less reactive metals. Okay, so these are the 3 sub stages of extraction of metals. In previous lecture, we have learned about the reactivity series of metals. Some metals are highly reactive, some metals are moderately reactive, and some metals are less reactive. Okay, so we know that the potassium, sodium, lithium, calcium are the highly reactive metals, and also the magnesium, aluminum, zinc, iron, tin, and lead. These are also reactive metals. Okay. Now let us start with the first sub stage, that is the extraction of reactive metals. So metals are the highly reactive. They react with oxygen, water, also acid. Okay. Also form the oxides, then hydroxides, and some salts are there. Okay, so let us start with the first extraction of metals. So according to reactive series, the metals are highly reactive. The reactivity decreases down the series. For example, potassium, sodium, aluminum are highly reactive metals. Okay, so these highly reactive metals means what? They donates its electron, loses its electron from its outermost shell, and then it forms the cations. Cations means positive charge. So these metals are electropositive. So they vigorously react with water, vigorously react with acids, also oxygen. So their extraction has to be done by the different method, that is electrolytic method also there. So different processes are there. So now first stage, that is the extraction of reactive metal. We have taken the extraction of aluminum. In syllabus includes the extraction of aluminum. So what is, let us explain the process of the extraction of aluminum. What is the process? Now we know aluminum, that symbol is Al, then color is silver white, atomic number of aluminum is 13, and electronic configuration is 283, as the atomic number is 13. Electronic configuration 283. Now means what? Valency is 3, and in outermost shell the aluminum contains 3 electrons. Okay, that's why, as it is reactive metal, it does not occur in nature in a free state. It is always combined with oxygen, water, and the acids. Okay. Now this aluminum, which is present in the nature in the earth crust in the form of the ore, that is called as bauxite. Bauxite, that is Al2O3 and H2O. Means what? Bauxite contains 30% to 70% of aluminum oxide. Oxide, it is combined with oxygen. So 30 to 70% of aluminum oxide is present in the bauxite. And another remaining part of that bauxite is gunch particles. So we have to remove these gunch particles from the ore. Okay, so concentration is necessary. So first point of extraction of aluminum is concentration of bauxite ore. Now how to remove the bauxite of ore from the gunch particles? Okay, so now students, the bauxite is contains the main ore of aluminum, and silica, ferric oxides, and titanium oxides. These are the impurities present in the bauxite ore. So we have to remove the silica, ferric oxide, and the titanium oxide from the bauxite ore. So two types of processes are there. First is Beer's method and second one is Hall's method. So for the purification of bauxite, means to remove the ore from the gunch particles. These are the two processes. First is Beer's process and second one is Hall's method. So what is the Beer's process or what is the Beer's method? Okay, so first we have to pour the ore in the ground mill. So let us start with the first process, that is the Beer's process. So what is Beer process? First pour the ores in the ground mill, okay, and it get leached by solution. What is meant by leaching? That is the ore soaked in a certain amount of solution. So here also the bauxite ore leached by concentrated solution of caustic soda. Caustic soda means sodium hydroxide. So this ore, bauxite ore is leached with concentrated solution of caustic soda, that is NaOH, under a temperature that is 140 to 150 degrees Celsius. So temperature means heating process is there. So heated by 140 to 150 degrees Celsius under a high pressure for the 2 to 8 hours in digester. So we have to leach. We have to use the leaching method here. It is heated with the concentrated solution of caustic soda under a temperature that is 140 to 150 degrees Celsius and with high pressure. Now, aluminum oxide, which is amphoteric in nature, it reacts with sodium hydroxide. So look at the reaction here. Reaction is Al2O3 dot twice H2O plus twice NaOH. The reaction is there, aluminum oxide. This is your bauxite plus sodium hydroxide gives sodium aluminate. So it forms that product is formed, that is the sodium aluminate and the water molecules. Okay. So it reacts with sodium hydroxide and it forms the sodium aluminate, which is water soluble. And this means what? This bauxite is leached by sodium hydroxide solution. Okay. Now, Gunch particles means ferric oxide, which does not dissolve in sodium hydroxide. So it gets separated by the filtration method, get filtered, it gets separated. But now two impurities are remaining in the ore, that is the silica and the titanium oxide. So we have to remove the silica and titanium oxide. Okay, now what is the process to remove the silica and the titanium hydroxide? Now the Gunch particles, that is the silica which is dissolved in sodium hydroxide to form the water soluble sodium silicate. And the sodium aluminate is dissolved by putting the water and cooled to 50 degrees Celsius. We get the product, that is the sodium aluminate. This sodium aluminate again dissolved in water at the temperature that is 50 degrees Celsius and it forms the sodium hydroxide and aluminum hydroxide. So in this process, we remove the impurities from the bauxite ore. This is the Beer's process. Now next is what? Hall's process. Let us start with the Hall's process. Here also same here, ore which is poured in the tank in the ground mill, and these ores get leached by heating with the aqueous sodium carbonate. Remember, in Beer's process we use the sodium hydroxide, that is caustic soda, and here in Hall's process we use, that is sodium carbonate. So sodium aluminum oxide dot twice H2O means what? Bauxite plus sodium carbonate. So we use in Hall's method sodium carbonate. In Beer's method, sodium hydroxide. So here bauxite get react with sodium carbonate and form the sodium aluminate plus water molecules and carbon dioxide. So in the product, we get the sodium aluminate and certain amount of impurities which is filtered out. Okay. Now this filtrate is warm and neutralized by the passing carbon dioxide gas. So second reaction, look at the second reaction. This sodium aluminate, which is the product formed because of the bauxite and sodium carbonate, this again neutralized by passing the carbon dioxide and water. Okay. As a result, we get the aluminum hydroxide. In second reaction, we get the two products. First is sodium carbonate and the aluminum hydroxide. Now this aluminum hydroxide, which is the precipitate, this is again heated and under temperature that is 1000 degrees Celsius. And for this, we get the aluminum oxide. Aluminum oxide is there. Now this aluminum oxide is again reduced by the process of electrolytic reduction. So what is meant by electrolytic reduction? Now to form the we want a pure alumina. For this we use the electrolytic reduction method to get the to purify the aluminum. So this aluminum oxide having the oxygen molecules. So remove these oxygen molecule by the reduce method, that is the electrolytic reduction method. Now this is the electrolysis process. So what is meant by electrolysis process? We use the electrode here. So we use the electrodes again. Now look at the diagram. This is the process of the electrolytic reduction process, where in this method we use the electrolysis. We use the electrodes, means graphite as the electrodes. So anode and cathodes are there. So in this metal electrolysis of molten mixture of alumina, which is having the melting point more than the 2000 degrees Celsius. Now this tank contains the graphite. Now yellow color, that is the graphite rod, which indicates the anode, and the inner lining of the inner wall, that is the graphite, that is also graphite, which indicate the cathode. The tank has graphite lining on the inner side, that is the cathode, and the graphite rods dip in the molten solution, that graphite rods, it indicate the anode. Okay. Now this molten electrolytes work as anode, okay, and inner wall, that is the cathode. Now cryolite and the fluorspars are added in the mixture to lower its temperature up to 1000 degrees Celsius. Now this molten mixture having the alumina, that is the 2000 degrees Celsius. The melting point of molten mixture of alumina is 2000 degrees Celsius, but we have to down that temperature about the 1000 degrees Celsius. So we have to add the cryolite and the fluorspar for this to lower the temperature of molten mixture of alumina. So function of cryolite and the fluorspar is that it is added to lower the temperature of the mixture of alumina. Now, aluminum is deposited on the cathode as it is the electrolysis process. The aluminum is get deposited on passing electric current. Aluminum is deposited to the cathode. Okay, and molten aluminum being heavier than the electrolyte is collected at the bottom. Look at the diagram. Aluminum is get collected at the bottom of the tank. Now it is taken out from there from time to time, and oxygen gas is liberated at the anode. So two graphite rods are there. One is lining in the inner side of the vessel, and graphite rod which indicates the anode. Now look at the reaction. That reaction at cathode, Al3 plus thrice 3 electrons get from the pure aluminum. We get the pure aluminum from because of the electrolytic reduction. So reaction at the anode where the oxygen get released. So this is the process where we get the pure aluminum. So oxygen gas which is liberated, it react with anode to form the carbon dioxide gas. Okay, and this process is very important. Diagram is also maybe question may be asked for this diagram, that is the label the diagram, draw and label the diagram. Now also the which electrolytes means which mixture is added to lower the temperature of molten mixture of alumina. So cryolite and the fluorspars are added in the molten mixture to lower the temperature of the molten mixture of alumina. Now next is what? Extraction of moderately reactive metals. Now extraction of moderately reactive metals means what? Now in the process to remove some particles to ores, we use the extraction of moderately reactive two process, that is the roasting and the calcination. So as we know, the metals always combine with another, it form the oxides, it form the sulfides, it form these carbonates. These are the highly reactive, they are always present in combined state. It may be oxides, sulfides and carbonates. Okay, now we have to remove the sulfides, oxides, carbonates, ores, and we need some process. That process is nothing but the roasting and the calcination. So carbonate ores and sulfide ores, it can be used or removed by the method, by the process for the roasting and the calcination. So we get the pure metal because of the two types of method. First is roasting and calcination. Now what is it? Ores is heated in excess of air. Roasting is what? Ores is heated in excess of air. This is used for the sulfide ores. So reactions, very important. Roasting, it is used for the sulfide ores. Sulfur dioxide is produced along with the metal oxides, and calcination is nothing but the ore is heated in the absence or limited supply of water. Now roasting is heated in excess of air, but calcination is heated in the absence or limited supply of air. Remember. Now second point is what? This is used for sulfide ores, and calcination process is used for carbonate ores. Third one is sulfur dioxide is produced along with the metal oxides, and in calcination carbon dioxide is produced along with the metal oxide. So this differentiation is important. Question may be asked, distinguish between the roasting and the calcination method. So this reaction is also important for the roasting, that is used for the sulfide ores, and calcination is used for the carbonate ores. So take a screenshot of this slide. Last is extraction of less reactive metals. What is the extraction of less reactive metals? This is copper, which is highly reactive, but it plays at the bottom of the reactivity series. Okay. Also gold, silver, platinum. So extraction of less reactive metals. The copper is present in free state or not present in free state. It is always combined with the sulfide oxygen ores, and it may be present in oxide ores. So when it combined with the sulfur, it forms the copper oxide, copper sulfide, copper oxide. So we have to free these ores, these metals from the ores. So copper is obtained from the copper sulfide ore just by heating in a air. So we get the copper metal when we heat the ore by in the presence of the air. So CuS, twice CuS plus thrice O2, we get the product that is the twice Cu2O plus twice sulfur dioxide, means sulfur dioxide gas release. Again, this copper oxide plus copper sulfide, it will form the copper, which is in pure form. So extraction of less reactive metal is there. Now what we have learned, today's points to remember. First is what? Basic principle of metallurgy, that is the concentration of ore. First stage is concentration of ore, second one is extraction of metals, and third one is purification of metals or refining of metals. In concentration of ores, we have sub stages: separation based on gravitation, at magnetic separation method, and the froth flotation and leaching. Second one is extraction of metal, that is the extraction of reactive metals, extraction of moderately reactive metals, and extraction of less reactive metals. Concentration of bauxite, this is the ore, that is the L2O3 dot H2O. Okay, this is the main ore of aluminium. Now silica, ferric oxide, and titanium oxides are the main impurities which is present in the bauxite. And to remove these impurities, we have two processes, that is the leaching process, Baer process, and Hall's process. In Baer process, we add the sodium hydroxide, that is the caustic soda, to remove the ferric oxide, silica, and the titanium oxide. In Hall's process, we have to react the bauxite with sodium carbonate. Okay, so these are the process where to remove the pure alumina. We get the pure alumina by the process, that is the electrolytic reduction process, and the cryolite and fluorspar, which is used to lower the melting point of mixture of alumina. So these are the points to be remembered. Now this is your homework. Take a screenshot of this homework and note down all the answers in your notebook. Okay. Okay, thank you, student. Thank you so much.